Over the past few weeks, we've seen some of the most major changes that maybe we've ever seen in our lifetime. The war in Ukraine, death and destruction in Europe's soil once again. People who are frightened, panicking, and not sure what the future holds. We're living certainly, and as Bob Dylan would have put it, the times they are a-changing. How do we find hope in a changing times like this? Is there somewhere you and I can find a permanence, something that does not change, something or someone who is with us in the midst of all that takes place? As we look on our TV screens, as we see what is happening across Europe, there is once again much fear, even people talking of nuclear war. And many people for the first, even in Europe, maybe having to consider life changing at such a massive rate, affecting those certainly in Ukraine, but probably will affect many others, even ourselves, way beyond those borders. Wanting to think today about this changing times, but our trust in an unchangeable God. It says in the Bible in Hebrews 13 and verse 8, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. Here's the reassurance of a God who doesn't change, even though everything else around us seems to change, even our very lives. Malachi 3 and verse 6, for I, the Lord, do not change. Therefore you, O children of Jacob, are not consumed. I, the Lord, do not change. The words in the Westminster Confession of Faith talk about today the God who's unchangeable. It says the Westminster Shorter Catechism says, God is a spirit whose being, wisdom, power, holiness, justice, goodness and truth are infinite, eternal and unchangeable. Those things do not change. Isn't it wonderful today to come to a God who is unchangeable, a God who is with us no matter what circumstances, situations we find ourselves in. Certainly today for those in places like Ukraine, with this ongoing war, where there will be much dread and fear, uncertain of the future. But for us all, there is an uncertain future in life. Illness comes, death comes, people's lives change all the time. And for those of us here living in Europe, we've known much peace and stability as a world, and also prosperity for many years. Is things going to change to such a drastic extent over the coming years? How will we cope in those situations? Lovely hymn I want to think about today, Abide with Me. Those lovely words of Henry Francis Lit. Think of them today as we think of a world outside us there. Abide with me. Fast falls the eventide. The darkness deepens, Lord. With me abide. When other helpers fail and comforts flee, help of the helpless, oh, abide with me. Here we can see the structure of a God in the midst of darkness, in the midst of all that seems to fail around us, is a God that we can look to, a God that we can pray to. And maybe today we're struggling, knowing in a way who to pray to and what to pray for. Have you ever trusted in Jesus, this same God, the same yesterday, today and forever? Have you ever put your faith in him? May we encourage others, if we know Christ today, to do that. And maybe pray for others today if we know Christ. Pray for a nation like Ukraine. Pray for people across the world today who are struggling under awful circumstances. Swift to its close ebbs out life's little day. Earth's joys grow dim, its glories pass away. Change and decay in all around I see. O thou who changest not, abide with me. What a wonderful God we come to. O thou who changest not, abide with me, Lord. Stay with me, be with me, the one who is with us in all circumstances. I fear no foe, with thee at hand to bless. Ills have no weight and tears no bitterness. Where is death's sting? Where grave thy victory? I triumph still, if thou abide with me. It is an understanding, of course, we do have fears, we do have struggles, and when things change, we are really frightened. But what a God to turn to today, the God who is with us, the God who never changes, the God who is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Have you put your trust in Christ? Have you fully put your trust in Him? No matter what may happen, no matter what may come, the one who is with us, even unto death and through death itself. Hold thou thy cross before my closing eyes, shine through the gloom and point me to the skies. Heaven morning breaks, and earth vain shadows flee, in life, in death. O Lord, abide with me. What a great promise today of this God, who is the God who's unchangeable. He is certainly infinite, holy, full of justice, full of goodness. The God who never changes, unlike us, unlike our circumstances. He remains the same, and He will be with you through this life and the life to come. May we trust Him fully today, the unchangeable God in the midst of changing times. Thank you very much once again for listening.